we're going live, but we're not going live. We're going live, but the show's not starting.
Right.
The show don't start till 6.
Correct.
Yeah, and you heard about Simi. You know about that.
What?
We'll be done in time, no problem.
What about Sammy?
He's going live at
Seven.
well, he's on at 7.
Yeah. Well, he'll have enough time. Well, he don't run nothing around here. I run this. I'm
This is
joking.
J King Network.
Yes. Yes. It is.
Got your name on it. J King, working shows. Where's music? Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
JK Show. KBLA. JK Show. JK Show. The JK Show. KBLA. JK Show.
Our sister Shirley Brown, I'm not certain about that, but Jeffy, he's here. Maybe he can address it. Glad you're here.
Elon and Trump are fighting again.
Ah, and
July 5th.
what's going on with the charter school scandal is that they Highlands is going down. It's unfortunately whatever happened, whatever they were doing there. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of following that.
Yeah. So what's interesting is they would have you think that it's Highlands, it's just one bad guy that's doing this.
Mhm.
But so if they've been doing this for over a decade, and you have a governing body over them, right? And they've passed these audits every year,
Mhm.
and you know, where's the issue? And then when you
Mhm.
know that when you know that um when you know that the teaching credential changed, what was legal at one time is no longer legal. How do you blame them for that? Why do they, and do they, why aren't they grandfathered in, or why aren't they, given time to
Mhm.
comply?
Yeah. Yeah, no, and I heard the main guy offered to step down and wash his hands of everything, and somebody still said no. It seemed like a vendetta against
Yeah,
him. I don't know if that's true because I don't know all the
yeah.
details, but
Some of it is political.
people don't
Some
like
of it,
charter schools, the
yeah.
unions,
Yep. And so it's,
or private schools.
yeah. I'm I'm leaving in the morning to Dubai and Nairobi, listening from that. Wow. Okay, Shirley Brown. So I am scheduled to go to um, Nigeria and Kenya from August 8th through the 18th. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it because I got so much other stuff to do.
That would be fun. That'd be a good trip, though. Would you be performing or managing?
No, it's there with there with a government business thing. Not as a creative person.
Not in a creative ecosystem?
We have just under a minute.
You tell me. Okay, so for those of you who are just tuning in right now, this show it's taped. So we're doing a tape show that you guys are actually getting to watch live, but it's a show that Mike will edit, and and when he edits it, it will air on KBLA in Los Angeles. But you can go to iHeartRadio.com and download the iHeartRadio app, and then search for the Jay King Show, and you can watch my shows anytime. So yeah, so that's how this is gonna work. And we just tape these shows um, as an extra bonus. It's not really for any reason other than I get to, you know, engage with you all to some degree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Okay, we're ready. If you want to go the first half hour, it's 12 minutes and 12 minutes.
12 minutes and 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready?
All right, Jay. Have a great show.
Thank you, sir.
Here we go. 3, 2.
The Jay King Show.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever it is, make it good for you. My name is Jay King, and welcome to the Jay King Show on KBLA Talk 1580. Today, we have a good one for you. We're talking about building a creative ecosystem right there in your neighborhood, in your city, in your town, in your state, in your country, building your own ecosystem as a creative. And when I talk about creatives, I'm talking about people in music, people in film, people in theater, people in spoken word and poetry and painters and sculptors and producers and playwrights and directors. All of you, all of us are creatives. And even those who own the theater buildings or the clubs or the venues that we would perform in, those are all creatives. They're part of the creative ecosystem. And in a world that's changing, we have to change. In a business that's changing, we have to change. And the music business is changing. And as creatives, if we want to stay in the game or ahead of the game, we have to be the creators of the next iteration of these different industries. My name is Jay King. I'm the president and CEO of the California Black Chamber of Commerce. I am the leader and creator of the group Club Nouveau. And I do radio 3 days a week, 4 days a week now on 97.5 FM KDEE. On Mondays from 1 to 3 p.m., I do a show called Politics with my partner, Keisha Matthews. On Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, I do a show called Traffic Jam from 1 to 3 p.m. Monday through Friday, I do a show called Kings in the Morning on jkingnetwork.com. You can see it on Facebook, on J King Network, as well as on YouTube under J King Network. And I am the creator of the Greater Sacramento Urban Music Awards, which are going to take place September 17th, 2025, right here in Sacramento at the B Street Theater. And because we have all the elements necessary to build a creative economy, a creative ecosystem, that's exactly what we're going to do. Not waiting for somebody from the outside to do it or some business guy to do it, but we as creatives are going to create our own creative ecosystem and hopefully encourage you to do the same in your city, in your town, in your state, in your country, whatever. We want to make sure that creative people always have a foundation to build and create from. With social media and technology, we have won and lost. We've won in the sense that social media and technology has opened up the world to us. We've lost and that people are minimizing the effort, the hard work, and the dedication that creative people put into their craft. And part of it is our fault. And when I say our fault, I'm speaking as a creative person, because we always look for somebody else to be our vision when it comes to accolades and or venue or promoting a show. We don't see ourselves as that person, but as creative people in a creative world with a creative economy, this should be right up our alley. And that's what made me create. I'm sorry, right here, Mike. I'm gonna start right here. And that's what made me create the Greater Sacramento Urban Music Awards. Because we have a radio station in Sacramento, 97.5 FM, KDEE. You can listen to us also online at kdeefm.org that plays a lot of wonderful music by wonderful artists and a lot who are independent artists. And we have a big audience. So some of these artists become stars in our ecosystem and they don't even know it. And so the Greater Sacramento Urban League, I'm sorry. Let me stop right here, Mike. I'm going to start right here. The Greater Sacramento Urban Music Awards are going to help tell the story for some of these artists. A lot of them live in Sacramento, but some of them are from other cities as far away as the East Coast and New York, the Southwest, and Memphis, and Southern California, and Los Angeles, in the Bay Area, and other places that are going to blow your mind. And these people are going to converge on Sacramento on September 17th to see if they can compete. Now, the beautiful thing about this is it's not fixed for the hometown. It's fixed for the artist with the big audience that knows how to engage with their audience. You don't have to be in Sacramento to vote or to support your particular artist that you like. You can be anywhere in the country, but you only get to vote once. And I built it because I wanted to make sure that even the music that I make, that it at least has an opportunity to be recognized. So today, we're going to break this thing down. For all of us who are listening, to start taking the building blocks, and you become the builder, the foundation, the Pied Piper of doing the same thing in your city that we're doing in ours. And if you've heard names like Joe Levy, Sean Rayford, Lucky Witherspoon, Jessica Jolia, Tony Mosley, Darnell Kendricks, they probably started right at our radio station. It's where you heard them. And now these folk are going around the country, sometimes outside of the United States, to perform because they built a name from a foundation of a real radio station. 97.5 FM KDEE is a real radio station with a real voice that speaks to people, not just in Sacramento, but around the country and around the world. And we are excited. We're excited not just about the award show, but about the ecosystem the foundation of the ecosystem that we're going to build. But more importantly, we are excited about sharing the information with you so you can be the catalyst in your city, in your town, in your city, in your state, in your country, that we are going to be in ours. So I want you to get ready. I want you to get ready to understand how to engage with radio. If you have a local radio station that's right there in your backyard, even if it's an iHeart radio station or a Cumulus radio station or a Radio One radio station, how to build relationships with your local radio stations, and maybe create your own show, because you'll be surprised what happens when you guys become a conglomerate, a group versus individuals. My name is Jay King, and I'm sorry, Mike, I'm going to do this right here. My name is Jay King, and you're tuned into the Jay King Show at KBLA Talk 1580. We're building a creative ecosystem. When we come back. How was that, Mike?
Thanks, Jay.
Okay.
Good stuff.
All right, so 12 minutes again.
Yep, another
Well,
12 here.
Well, that didn't seem like it was 12 minutes, Mike.
That was 12.
Are you sure? Because
Let me recalculate.
I think you fucking up.
Oh, I'm perfect.
You're right. Yep.
It's 12.
Okay, first of all, it's 6:12 right now. We started at 6:01. So neither you nor Snitchy can count. But
It's actually 11:30.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, it wasn't even 11:30. It was 11. So you can go 13 minutes if you want.
Yeah, exactly. And you talking about, and Snitchy, you sinking in the ship with him.
No.
You sinking in the ship because you said, yeah, we was 12. It was. I know how to count.
But I'm going to add music.
Oh, okay.
Too.
Oh, okay. All right. So, but you told me I had 12 minutes. So do I have 12 minutes or not?
Go 12.
12? Again, 12, right?
You're perfect.
You're tuned into the Jay King Show at KBLA Talk 1580. My name is Jay King. We are going to create a creative ecosystem right here in Sacramento. And I want you to follow the blueprint. And I want you to follow the blueprint in your city. The creative ecosystem starts with the creative community you have right there. Somebody has to organize that community. And I don't mean that you have to get everybody together at one time. It just has to be, the fundamental idea is to pull everybody together. And then once you pull everybody together, and you do it by throwing different functions, if you know that there's a spot that everybody can do their listening parties in, you control the spot. You make sure that if you did your listening party in a venue and it went nice, that you tell somebody else that's a creative person that they should use that venue. And you tell that venue owner that you should know that he or she should know this next artist, and that next artist should do the same thing, and the next artist does the same thing. Now what you guys are doing is you're building a revenue stream for that venue. And because you have meticulously picked people that you know are going to do good work the way you do good work, that are going to be organized, that are going to be professional, that are going to be reliable, and that's not bringing riffraff to the building. Now, you've gained a good reputation. I'm going to give you an example. Last year, I played at Yoshi's with a guy by the name of Sean Rayford. Sean Rayford had never played at Yoshi's before. It's what he wanted to do. So Sean Rayford came to open up for me at Yoshi's, and he charged me nothing. And he said, Jay, I just wanted to get into Yoshi's. So Sean Rayford opened up for me 30 minutes, 35 minutes, played at Yoshi's, and then I came on and did 45 minutes. After that performance, and we sold it out. We sold it out. They were trying to get us to add a second show. We didn't. We just wanted to do the one show. We were good with that. We sold it out. We were happy. Sean Rayford wanted to go back again, so we got him again to play with somebody else. Earlier this year, Sean Rayford said, Jay, I would love to play Yoshi's on my own. And we got him June 30th. And the show was sold out. And Sean Rayford showed out. And the promoter who was involved with all of this said, you were right about Sean Rayford, man. His show was great. What I didn't worry about was if Sean Rayford was going to be professional, if he was going to put on a good show, and if he was going to be reliable as a performer and do a great job all the way around. And it's exactly what he did. And because of that, anytime I bring somebody to Yoshi's and I say, this is who this person is, now I won't be questioned again because of Sean Rayford. And if Sean Rayford brings somebody, or when he brings somebody in, it will have to be with the same criteria. Now we're building an ecosystem of up-and-coming artists because with the foundation of what they expect to happen. So when you're building a creative ecosystem, you have to make sure that the first people that are the first building blocks of this system, of this foundation, are solid. Because if you build on a solid foundation, you don't have to worry about the building because you can knock walls down, you can knock them out, you can actually knock the whole building down and put something else on it because of the foundation. And what I mean by that, whether it's music or a restaurant or a speakeasy or whatever, because the foundation is strong, the foundation can turn into anything because the foundation is solid. And so that's the first thing you have to do when you're building a creative ecosystem. You have to build it on a solid foundation. People that are reliable, people that are professional, people that are proven. Once you've got your foundation, now you have to pick the kind of event you want to do. We did an event last year. Me, Sean Rayford, Joe Levy, Lucky Witherspoon, and we called it the Sack Pack. And we sold it out. It was a great show. And it went off without a hitch. It was professional. It was everything that we wanted it to be. It started on time. It ended on time. Those are things that you have to make sure from the very beginning. So what we've been doing is laying down the building blocks to our creative ecosystem with reliable people, because those are the people that the ones coming up under us are going to see. And if they see professionalism, they're not going to step to us until they're ready. Even if they think they're ready and we say, no, you're not ready. They'll be able to see the difference in who they are and what they do, and the difference in who we are and what we do, how we carry ourselves, how they carry themselves. How on time we are. People don't realize what it means to start and end on time. People don't realize what it means to have a professional atmosphere, that when people were there, we did our show, the Sugar High Band and Club Nouveau. We did a show in Folsom, 600 people. The venue held 600 people. So we're at capacity. Not one fight, not one argument, not one disruption. Just a lot of people having a lot of fun. But that was because the atmosphere that we built was a fun, grown, enjoyable atmosphere. So when you're building this creative ecosystem, you have to be protective of it in the beginning. You have to respect the fact that the foundation that you're building isn't for you. It's for the people that come after you. That the footing is solid because you built a solid foundation for solid footing. If you don't, and you've seen this before, where people have great events and then poof, it all goes away. It's because they're only doing events. They're only doing shows. They're only worried about themselves. Creating an ecosystem of creatives requires selflessness, requires discipline, requires humility and integrity and consistency. And they all have to work hand in hand. One without the other will ensure that there's sand in your foundation, and eventually it will crumble. Radio, live performances, workshops, merchandise, listening parties, live performances, partnerships, self-promotions, they all go together. They all need each other. And so don't be afraid of leadership or someone taking the lead. Don't be afraid to be a phenomenal Indian to a great chief. Because phenomenal Indians will become a great chief in his or her expertise or area. And great chiefs will recognize phenomenal Indians as great chiefs as they are. There's a lot to go over, a lot to talk about. But we can't do it right now. We got to take a break. When I come back, we're going to get into this thing a little deeper. You're tuned into the J. King Show at KBLA Talk 1580. We'll be right back.
Right on.
How many minutes?
So segment 3 here, 9 minutes.
9 minutes and 9 and then 4 and 4, right?
Yes, please.
Okay. You ready?
Ready when you are, Jay.
It's the Jay King Show at KBLA Talk 1580. And we're talking about building creative economies in our towns and our cities. A lot of people don't believe that you can do that you can have a creative economy, or they think that you have to have all this money. And it's really not money that you need. It's ingenuity. It's innovation. It's creativity. It's everybody working together. It's people recognizing, especially creative people, that we all need each other. And somebody getting big and growing out our system and going to higher heights doesn't mean they left us. It means that our garden grew something that became bigger than the garden and is flourishing someplace else. And maybe somebody is now going to come back to our garden because of where that person came from. Or maybe that person says, hey, there's more where I came from. But if we create the ecosystem inside our city, now you can get the municipal government involved, because a creative ecosystem helps small businesses. Because if you're a dressmaker or a designer and you need thread, or you need a fabric, or you need accessories, you're not going out of the city to do that. The first thing you want to do, you want to look at what's in the city. And there's a good possibility that the things that you need are right here in the city you live in. And so you're feeding the economy. You're feeding the creative ecosystem, because you're taking things like buttons and fabric and accessories, and you're creating, whether it's a dress for a play, or an outfit for a fashion show. You're part of the creative ecosystem. Maybe you're creating uniforms for a group, whether it's a band or a singing group or an individual. If you own a venue and you say, I'm looking for a different clientele, I want to get more creative people in here, you're now feeding into the creative economy. And now you say, I want Jay King. Hey, Jay King, I'm going to open my space up to you. And I, Jay King, bring 60 people in your space to come see me. And I do a show, and those 60 people spend on average $50. I just bought $3,000 to your venue. Minimum. I am building part of that creative economy with you, because that happened because of the creativity of Jay King performing. When a city or a county can see dollars staying in it because all of the creative people there are spending there, it becomes important to that city, to that county. It becomes important to their taxes. It becomes important to how they generate, how their businesses earn. And now you can plug into them. A lot of creative people create in a box. you all create amongst yourselves in your circle. If you want to make a living being a creative, then you have to get bigger than yourself. You have to think different than just a ground level. You have to engage with people that are oftentimes more talented than you, and latch yourself to them and offer them your service as they offer you their platform. There's a lot of different ways to do this. You know, just imagine if we started doing backyard parties. Hey, Jay, man, can I be in your backyard? Man, you have a beautiful backyard. I want to bring 30 people. I'm charging them $50. I'm going to generate $1,500. I can give you $300, man. I'll clean up afterwards. This is what I'll do. Absolutely. You got a friend, though. I love his backyard. Can you connect me with him? And now you guys are saying, you know what? You perform at mine, I'll perform at yours. And it goes from 2 to 4 of you. From 4 of you to 8 of you. From 8 of you to 16 of you. And instead of just doing 1 or 2 backyards, you guys are doing 4, 8, 16 backyards. And now before you know it, you're generating an income. You can see that what started off at $200 or $300 a performance is now $700 to $800 a performance. And instead of it being 2 or 4 or 6 performances a year, now there's 30 performances a year. And now you're making $800 a performance times 30. Now that's $24,000. You got a regular job. This is an extra $24,000. But more importantly, what you're doing for the economy, for the creative economy, you're not even paying attention to the fact that somebody went out and made those signs. They had to go to one of those Michaels or one of those kind of stores that have that artwork. I mean art materials like paint brushes and paint and pencils and paper and all the stuff that you need to create the party atmosphere, the party hats. They had to go to Wingstop or something like that to get the wings. They had to go to the local grocery store to get the white wine and the red wine. And all of this happened, and people got dressed up, and all this happened because of you. Because you understand as a creative that you are an economy. You are an economy. And just imagine if you took your economy and I took my economy and he took hers and she took hers, and we all put our economies together, just how powerful we are. That's how artists have to think. That's how local artists have to think now. You got to start building with the idea and the understanding that you, my friend, are an economy. And you are a creative. So you are part of the creative ecosystem. And that's your power. We'll be right back. KBLA Talk 1580 is where all the information is.
Thanks, Jay.
Okay. How many minutes?
Perfect.
Huh?
Yep. 4, you can go 4.5.
4.5?
Or you can go 4.5.
4.5?
Yeah. If you want, you can. Yep, I'll give you that.
Mike, you're so nice. All this giving. Why are you in such a giving mode? Yeah. Okay. Did you wash your hands when you left the bathroom? You're tuned into the Jay King Show at KBLA Talk 1580. My name is Jay King. I want to say thank you for tuning into this show. I didn't really dig deep into anything in particular. I'm thinking I'm going to do a second part to this show and just get detailed. Today, I just wanted to talk to you and hopefully inspire you to start looking at yourself as a economy and making yourself responsible for building a creative ecosystem in the city you live in, because that's the only way it happens is when the local musician, the local writer, the local filmmaker or theater playwright or producer of music or poetry, the only way it happens is if you make it important to you. Otherwise, the only thing that's going to happen is every time you give an event, you're going to work and you're going to work hard to make it happen. And sometimes you're going to win and sometimes you're going to lose. When if you look at yourself as an economy, and as you start to build out your economy and your ecosystem, that you do it with the understanding and the idea that other people are going to learn from it, that they're going to grow from it, that they're going to build from it, that you're going to help them. By helping Sean Rayford make it to Yoshi's all the way in Oakland, Sean Rayford, it became an economy and an ecosystem for the city of Oakland. Because yesterday it was sold out. People were eating. People were drinking. People bought tickets. People drove their cars, so they had to pay for parking. And it all happened because Sean Rayford, and if you don't know who he is, SHAWNRAIFORD, he's a saxophonist. Sean Rayford, his new album is called Next Step. His first album was called Man with a Horn. You can check him out. He blows a nice, beautiful horn. And Sean Rayford, along with Lucky Witherspoon, myself, and Joe Levy, we started this whole creative process of building an ecosystem last March. And so we're a little more than a year and a half into it, or right at a year and a half into this ecosystem that I see clearer now than I did then. I see how important live performances are to our local area. I see how important 97.5 FM KDEE is to our local artists. And I see now how important partnerships and self-promotions are to the success of those things. Without it, the ecosystem doesn't grow, it doesn't build, it is not sustainable. We want to change that dynamic. Follow us in Sacramento. You're tuned into the J. King Show at KBLA Talk 1580. When I come back, we're going to wrap this thing up.
Good.
Okay. You ready?
Yep, one more. Got it.
It's the J. King Show at KBLA Talk 1580. And I hope you enjoyed the show today. If you haven't listened to 97.5 FM KDEE, I'm asking you to go to kdeefm.org if you're not in Sacramento and listen to the radio. You're going to love this radio station. You're going to love the diversity of the music. And when I say diversity, I mean just the different styles from the different DJs. You're going to love the diversity of the information whether it's Keisha Matthews with Selling Sacramento, which is a real estate show, or Thaxter Arterberry with Money Talks, which is a financial literacy show. We promote community, how to build a community, how to grow a community, and how to sustain a community. And it's going to be partnerships. It's going to be recognition, recognizing people other than yourself. That's why we're doing the award show on September 17th at the B Street Theater. You'll hear more about it. You'll know more about it because it'll be all over the internet. You have Victor Orlando and Fonjola that have been nominated for a few awards, best group and dance single and a couple of others. You got Callaway, I Want to Be Rich. Yeah, those two brothers, Vincent and Reggie Callaway, with a song called Politics that for best social commentary song. You have Pete Belasco, best jazz artist, best new artist out of Connecticut. If you haven't heard Pete Belasco Stop the Presses, the Strong and Able album, you're missing something special. You got Joe Levy and Sean Rayford. You have the Sugar High Band and 3TOB. You have Lucky Witherspoon. You have Elle Nicole. You have Jessica Jolia. These are people that are part of our creative economy. And of course, you have Club Nouveau, who's really the granddaddy to it all. And then you have the legends with Karen White. Yeah, she lived in Sacramento. Confunction, they're right down the street from Sacramento. Lenny Williams, he's right down the street from Sacramento. You have a robust economy of music and musicians. And then you have the local guys, Derek DOA Allen, not just a commodity in Sacramento, but in the music business altogether, whether he was playing bass for Janet Jackson or Lionel Richie, he's producing records for Kim and Tyrese and other artists. That is what we're doing. We're building a creative economy, one creative at a time. And we're inviting you to join us. My name is Jay King, and you've been listening to The Jay King Show at KBLA Talk 1580. We'll see you next time. How was that?
All right. Oh, it's perfect. It was good. Good timing, too.
I know you got, okay, you guys, we got to go because there's another show coming on the network. Thank you guys so much.
All right,
Thanks, Jay. Bye.
All right.
All right, good night.